The week began with the Dale and Dale Show, but challengers in abundance have emerged, and the question remains, who will win the Daytona 500? The picture is live. The fans pour into the world center of racing, Daytona International Speedway, scene of the two big races that will conclude the 37th edition of Speed Week. Hello, everyone. I'm Dave Despain. Welcome to Daytona, where we're having a ball. We're on the grid for the 37th running of the Goodies 300. Busch Grand National action rolls at 12:30. The television, ESPN, of course, 8:30 tonight. Tape delayed. Going to be a great show. Starting right about here will be that black 3 cars, won it 5 years in a row. Gets a new driver for 1995. Jeff Green straps into Dale Earnhardt's machine. Who will win the Daytona 500? The question on everyone's lips. Several guys are going to run both races this weekend. Here is one of them, and he's been talked about a lot in terms of the Dale and Dale Show. Dale Jarrett starts from the outside of row 1 this afternoon and on the pole tomorrow, and he's standing by live with Alan Bestwick.
Well, Dave, I don't know if I'd call this a garage here. I might call it a jungle. There's a million people in here. Dale, we talked in January. You said you were looking forward to coming to the 500 as the favorite. You've been through the grinder for a week. How's it been?
Well, it's been a lot of fun. Sitting on the pole was great. Did a lot for our team here. The excitement has been a lot of fun. So we're excited about the prospects. Don't know that we're still the favorite. I think you have to look at the Chevrolets, Earnhardt and Sterling Marlin, but we've still got a good race car.
Now tell me about your car. You've had a lot of troubles getting the handling sorted out over the last few days of practice. You got a grip on it now?
I think we're the best that we've been right now. We'll find out more this afternoon, but I really feel good right now. If we had to start the 500 right now, I think our Texaco, Haviland, Mack Tools Ford would be ready to race those guys.
Well, he'll start second in the 300 today. He's on the pole for the 500. That's Dale Jarrett. Dave?
This morning's newspaper says a great deal. Earnhardt again. It refers specifically to what happened here yesterday, International Race of Champions. Our NASCAR Today cameras caught it. First race of the year, last lap, down the backstretch, and wouldn't you know it, things got crazy. Al Unser Jr. leads. Earnhardt and Mark Martin draft up the outside. Unser moves up to block. Earnhardt is there. Al wrecks. Dale wins. The question naturally is who hit who.
No, I was trying to guess which direction they were going to go, and they faked low and went high, and by the time I got my car up high, he had already gotten to a point where he was going to grab my right rear. So
Dale's third win of the week. He'll skip today's Busch race. Yesterday was my last chance to talk to him. I'm in a hurry, and I don't know why. You've been running more this week. We about interviewed you to death. You saving some energy for the 500?
Oh, definitely, Dave. I don't know. It's been a very higher energy week, really. All the cars that I've drove this week's run real well, and no matter whether it's what kind of brand, I reckon, but our Winston Cup car is really running good, and it's just really smooth. The car is just in the draft. It's really comfortable, and everything we've done is in races comfortable with it. So I'm really impressed. Qualified well, raced well. What can you say?
IROC's on your mind right now because you just won that one. That was a wild deal, wasn't it?
Well, it was, and I hate that happened with little Al. We drafted up so fast back on him, and I committed to myself and went and marked all of us, and I was all the way up to his quarter, and his quarter panel when he kept coming over, just run out of room, and shouldn't have happened, but I'd rather he raced him all the way back here and him won, and me or him won one race, but he's got 3 more races, I reckon, to wear the size back off of mine.
So familiar a pattern here, winning everything in sight leading up to the 500, and everybody asking you about Sunday. Is not running this Busch Clash really going to make that much, or the Busch Grand National race really going to make that much difference, you think, in your luck?
I don't really know that it'll make a lot of difference. It's give me a lot more time to focus with this car on practice and just focus with this thing, not take my mind off of it and talk about the other car or drive another car or anything like that. And that's what we've been doing is working hard to get this race car around the racetrack and do the best we can with it.
This car, 4 car, the 24 car. You, Sterling, and Jeff Gordon. Everybody's talking about the 3 of you being the strong cars. A, do you agree? And B, will you guys take off and try to wear them out Sunday?
Well, I think those 3 cars are 3 of the strongest, but yeah, I think you're going to have to put the 6 and the 16 in there. Those cars are running awful strong, and I don't think you can take it away from them.
Last lap tomorrow. Does it feel like this is finally going to be it? Get that proverbial monkey off your back?
Well, 95 could be our year.
Good luck. You deserve it.
Thank you.
The man in black, ladies and gentlemen, Dale Earnhardt. Well, of course, that 3-car has been consistently challenged this week by the young man who pilots the 24. We'll hear from Jeff Gordon a little later. And when we come back, the defending Daytona 500 champion Sterling Marlin, Rusty Wallace, and a whole lot more. Stay with us.
NASCAR Today is brought to you by the 1994 NASCAR Year in Review. To order your copy, call 1-800-71-NASCAR.
Back live at Daytona International Speedway. Goodies 300 up and coming. We talked Wednesday night about the business of racing. Couple of quick notes. Rebco has signed on to sponsor the NASCAR Northwest Tour, new sponsor. Here is my first ever live television contract signing for Winston Cup. Rusty Wallace inking a deal with Fleetwood RV to be a sponsor. He can talk and write at the same time. Let me fire a quick question at you. 18 victories in the last 2 seasons, tops of anybody. What about the Daytona 500?
Well, I feel really good about it. We got probably one of the best cars we've had here in a long time. We finished 4th in the 125, and all systems go right now for tomorrow's Daytona 500.
You were sitting in the grandstand with $5 in your pocket. Who'd you be betting on?
Well, I've got my car owner over here, Mr. Penske, and he's going to guide me right through all this mess, and hopefully I can win this thing. But I'm not a betting type of guy. I'm a conservative type individual until you get on the racetrack.
Rusty Wallace, Penske South. Watch him tomorrow. Defending champion in the Daytona 500. That, of course, would be Sterling Marlin by way of introduction. Well, let's take a look at how he chewed him up and spit him out. It happened on Thursday in the first of the twin 125s. Hey, makes me proud to be a stock car fan. Ford versus Chevy on the front row. A record crowd jamming the grandstand, and the good Lord looking down from that pretty blue sky. Just loving every minute of it. Watch the Chevys immediately gang up on the pole sitter Dale Jarrett. Sterling Marlin, Terry Labonte, Darrell Waltrip, a bow tie freight train for the front, while Steve Kinzer, well, he's headed for the garage. Third blown engine of the week. Most of the race, number 42 Kyle Petty's Pontiac was the prime challenger for the Monte Carlos. But the picture changed abruptly with a yellow that put Kenny Schrader out front. Marlin and Labonte and Petty all in the pits. Terry and Kyle found themselves a little worse off after the service, while Marlin's Kodak car came out strong as ever. I want you to check this out. No drafting partner, but Cuckoo's Kid drove straight to the front. He wants a second straight Daytona 500 win. Darrell Waltrip chased in vain, wound up second. Tony Glover, the Morgan McClure team celebrate. DW contemplates.
We were a little off, not in the chassis. Car handled great, but aerodynamics, we got to make some tweaks in the car yet, but that's what we wanted to know.
Hey, what about Sunday?
Same thing, right up front, gouging with them.
Sterling Marlin celebrating in Daytona's victory lane. Sterling, you know, only a couple times has somebody won the 500 back-to-back. What'd you learn Thursday that makes you confident you can do it?
Well, I tell you, all the boys on this Kodak, Delco Badger crews, give me a great race car. They've spent a lot of time in the motor room and the fab shop, and we got 2 slick little race cars. So if we keep the car handling Sunday, and I think we can, I think we'll be hard to beat.
Do we expect you to try and get away with a couple of drafting partners from the rest of the field, or can you do that?
Well, that'd make it easier. If 3 of you can break off and you don't have to race, 10 to 15 cars. But like I said, handling's going to play the key, and whoever's got the best handling car, if it's long green flag run, they're going to be tough. So we're fine-tuning it now and hope we can hit the nail on the head when it comes to showtime.
What about the weather's effect on your handling package? The temperature's been up and down. We really don't know what it's going to do for tomorrow.
Well, we thought the other day in the qualifying race the track would be slicker, and it'd been a little real cloudy all week, and our car really tightened up a little bit. So we're going to just watch the weather Sunday morning and just adjust on it a little bit from there.
That's a lot of what's going on in the garage area now. Watching the weather, Sterling Marlin trying to become only the 3rd man to win the 500 back-to-back. Dave?
4-car, 3-car, definitely among the favorites for tomorrow. But in every race, every position back through the field has a story to go with it. And out of that first 125 qualifier on Thursday, we picked a couple that we thought were particularly heartwarming. Let's pick up on that as we quickly recap Thursday's action. Dale Earnhardt's car owner, Richard Childress, led the development work on the new Monte Carlo. Veteran Dave Marcus did a lot of the test driving, but didn't want paid.
Each time it's to let me pay. He said, well, just help me out somewhere along the line. So I called him, told him, I said, we're going to give you an engine for the 500. And it really it thrilled him and it thrilled us to see him get in the race today.
Marcus has made this race 28 straight years, breaking Richard Petty's record.
I don't want to take anything away from Richard Petty. Richard's the king. We all look at him that way and respect him. And like I say, it's just a number that came up in me doing my everyday job.
Congratulations, Dave. On to Bobby Hamilton. Drives for Richard Petty. The king didn't see Bobby's last lap slide.
I seen the start of it, and then I didn't see nothing else. They said he made it. That was about as far as I could go, man.
And when Richard opened his eyes, lo and behold, Bobby Hamilton was 25th. Dave Marcus will start 19th for his 28th straight Daytona 500. Now, we're going to take a quick break, but when we come back, Mark Martin live on Ford versus Chevy, and Mr. Excitement out of here. We'll be back. Pretty day in Daytona, pretty pictures from the blockbuster video blimp, providing NASCAR Today with the aerial views from high atop stock car heaven, Daytona International Speedway. Dave Despain with Alan Bestwick, NASCAR Today, blockbuster blimp. I wish they wouldn't write things like that. Tell you what we're going to do next. We'll talk about Earnhardt. You know the story. He comes here every year and wins everything in sight and then loses the big one. He'll try to rewrite that story this week. Victory number 27 came yesterday. 26 happened on Thursday in the Twin 125. Ready, set, go. And Dale Earnhardt, the pole sitter, launches the good red Chevy. The Ford guy said, hey, it's our turn. The man in black went back a ways as Morgan Shepherd, Lake Speed, and Mark Martin find the front. Several Ford drivers would later observe that the blue oval guys didn't do quite as good a job working together in the draft as the Chevy pilots. It cost them Thursday. I'm betting they won't make the same mistake tomorrow. Meanwhile, overhead, Goodyear may have been a little loose, slides outside, Budweiser hooked up on the inside, grabs a position. Now, once things settled in, Earnhardt clawed his way back to where he started, up front. Then it's Mark Martin and Jeff Gordon, but behind them, side by side, 75 Todd Bodine, 94 Bill Elliott, indicative of that cooperation deficit. They couldn't give Martin any help. Uh-oh, trouble. Last year's Firecracker 400 winner, Jimmy Spencer, along with Loy Allen Jr., last year's 500 pole sitters, spinning and in danger of not making the race. More on that a little later. Now, racing for second, Gordon got around Martin, appeared headed for a rematch of last Sunday's terrific Busch Clash battle with Earnhardt, but suddenly behind him, smoke and noise. Phil Barkdahl spins, Phil Parsons misses. Barkdahl gets rear-ended by Greg Sachs. Nobody hurt, but more scrambling to see who will get in the show. So Gordon has to pass Martin again. Well, he manages that without a great deal of difficulty. Now we're all wondering who's going to have the good stuff off turn 2 on the last lap. No contest, ladies and gentlemen. If anything, Earnhardt may have gained a little despite the Gordon and Martin draft. And so for the 6th year in a row, Earnhardt wins the Thursday Gatorade 125. Bring on the big show.
I'm ready. I think this Monte Carlo could just go right on and win the 500.
Well, of course, if that happens, half the NASCAR world will love it and half will hate it. And that, of course, is part of the electric excitement of Dale Earnhardt. By the way, Parsons will start 32nd in a backup car, but Barkdahl and Sachs did not make the race. All right, a couple of Chevys and a couple of Fords in the top 4 in each of the 125s, but the order is important. Chevy 1-2, Ford 3-4. For an eyewitness account of how that happened, let's go back to Alan live with Mark Martin.
Mark, it didn't seem like you Ford guys were able to get past the Chevys at the end of the qualifying race. Was that just because you didn't work as well together in the draft, or because they were just stronger than you?
Well, I don't know. That's a pretty complex question. You know, it's not as simple as it seems. Cars that work together well, the drivers have to do a good job, and the cars have to be equally matched. Straightaway speed and corner speed, and given the amount of time we had and the, you know, and the way things fell out, no, we didn't have enough.
Earnhardt just told us a second ago, you're one of the guys to beat on Sunday. You feel confident?
We have a great car for the 500. It's the best that I've ever had. The Valvoline team is pumped up. They've put, they're going to put together great pit stops on pit road, great handling car, a strong engine, and we're really pumped up and ready to go.
Good luck Sunday.
Thank you.
Mark Martin, he's going to start 6th in the 500. Daytona's never been a very good track for him. He's hoping to change that this weekend. Dave?
A lot of guys looking for change here this weekend. A couple of guys are in big trouble. One of them's on his way home. The 125s always seem to wreck or at least damage the hopes of some of the big names. And it happened again, as you saw, on Thursday in that second 125 qualifier. And there's a bit of an irony here because the damage was all done in one wreck. Let's take a look at the aftermath. Allen's car is the one Spencer drove to victory here last July. Loy fell back on his qualifying time. He'll start 37th. Spencer's qualifying time, though, was a second slower than Allen's, and he missed the cut for the 500.
I'm just very upset, you know. I mean, my guys worked hard all winter long to get here. They're really excited about this year, and I don't think it could have got a worse start than ever. But it's just one race in 31, and yeah, we got to look forward to Rockingham next week.
This is the one I hate to ask. What are you going to do Sunday?
I don't know.
I tell you, you could feel the pain in that soundbite, couldn't you? Contrast down here. The cars for Busch Grand National are all out on the grid, so the chaos in the Winston Cup garage compares with this, the relative serenity and serene calm here in the Busch Grand National garage. We're going to come back with more of the wild action from Daytona International Speedway. Talk with Jeff Gordon after this timeout. All right, I've slipped away from the hubbub a little bit. It's quiet back here, and look who I found. Jeff Gordon, the man a lot of people think will win this race tomorrow. A lot of talk about Dale and Dale, but what I've seen on the racetrack has been the Dale and Jeff show. You have something for him in the 500?
I think so. I certainly hope so. We've had some good battles out there, and I know I found out that I don't want to be behind him with 5 laps to go. It's just almost impossible to get around him. So we want to be able to either do it in the pits or out-handle him on the racetrack. But I tell you, I mean, I'm worried about Dale. You always got to be worried about him. But that 4 car is really strong.
You talk about Dale Earnhardt. When I asked Dale Earnhardt about other race car drivers, he didn't want to talk about them. When I ask him about you, he's always got something to say, and it's always very positive. Why that chemistry between the guy who's at the top and you who want nothing more to come up and knock him off the top? What's the magic there?
Man, I don't know. I think we got a lot of desire, you know, and I think he sees me wanting to knock him off. And I see him being the top man. I mean, he's awesome, and you got to respect the guy. And I've tried to earn my respect with him, and I don't know, maybe it's working. But, you know, every time I'm out there with him, I mean, I try to push him as hard as I possibly can and try to race him as hard as I can, but be clean about it like he is with me, you know. And I think, I don't know, there's been some kind of respect earned there. I don't know what the chemistry is.
5 years ago, we hung out in the motorhome and talked about where you wanted to go. The motorhome wasn't nearly as expensive, and you've ended up where you wanted to be, Winston Cup stock car racing. Talk to me about the transition. What's the biggest difference from your life here and your life back then when you were running the midgets on Thunder?
Well, I think my life in general is no comparison. I mean, it's unbelievable how far, you know, things have come along. Me as a person, I feel like I'm the same guy. I mean, I love to race. I love to get out there with some battles. I mean, I feel like nothing has changed with Jeff Gordon inside. It's just all the surrounding things. And, you know, I'm a happy person. I'm excited about my career, but I don't really know where the next step is and where it's taken me. I've gotten this far by leading life one day at a time and 1 year at a time. And I mean, I'm just a very fortunate person to have gone through the midgets, the sprint cars, the silver crown cars, quarter midgets way back, and have made it this far. And it's unbelievable when I think about it. So when you mentioned it, you know, it sends a chill up my spine how far things have come.
Final question. Have you allowed yourself to think far enough ahead to imagine what it would be like to win the Daytona 500?
No, you know, I mean, the Brickyard was just total amazement, just like, there's no way, if this happened, it would be beyond any expectations, it would be beyond any dream, and it happened, you know, so I don't know what's coming next. I'm just, you know, I didn't pick the life, I'm just living it.
And he's living it pretty well. Long way from the midgets in Indianapolis Raceway Park. Good luck tomorrow.
Thanks a lot, Dave.
Jeff Gordon.
Jeff Gordon, one of the young lions a lot of folks think can win the Daytona 500 tomorrow. This guy's another. Todd Bodine, you got a strong horse. You're qualified well. What do you think your chances are?
Well, I tell you, Alan, it's the same car we had last year at the 500, and it ran good then, and it's running great now. It's driving really well. It's handling good. You know, we finished 4th in a 125, and we adjusted that since then, and we've gotten it a little better even. So we're real confident we can keep that factory stores Ford up front.
Are you prepared to deal with the frustration factor of the draft? I watched you a couple times on Thursday. You thought you had a better car, couldn't go any farther forward. How are you going to approach that?
Well, I tell you, I'm going to kind of just have to be a little patient. It seems like there's not a lot of guys working together. You know, that's how you have to pass cars. You got to work together, and not a lot of guys wanting to do that. So we're going to have to take our time, pace ourselves, and try to be around at the end. You know, last year we didn't get to finish this race. Came out of here 32nd in points, and we want to go to Rockingham and be up top 10 in points.
Good luck Sunday. That's Todd Bodine, driver of the factory stores Ford. A lot of young guys expected to establish himself in the Goodies 300, the Busch race today. One guy in particular because of the race car that he's behind the wheel of. Jeff Green's the man Dale Earnhardt's tabbed to replace him at the wheel of his NASCAR Busch Series Chevrolet. The car's won this Daytona race 5 straight years. Some huge shoes to fill. But Green says he's ready for his big chance.
You know, I feel like I can drive the car as good as anybody, so, you know, I got to have the right opportunity. Anybody has the right opportunity to get this chance, so I'm looking forward to repaying Teresa and Dale on their going out on a limb for Jeff Green.
That's Jeff Green here with his brother David, the defending NASCAR Busch Series champion. David, I might dare say this is a race you're just trying to get through today. You're starting pretty far back in the pack.
That's true, Alan. You know, Daytona been good and been bad to me, and we know right here that if we can come out of here with a decent finish, top 15, stay out of trouble, we're well on our way to maybe another championship. So this is a tough day here in Daytona.
First race with the V8 limited compression engine. Any concerns about reliability?
No, not at all. But, you know, this is going to be the big answer after all the questions about the V8. So far, the V8's been perfect, good reliability. I haven't even seen, knock on wood, I hadn't seen an engine blow all week. So hopefully that'll stay true for everybody today.
Good luck today.
Thank you, Alan.
David Green suited up, ready to go racing in the Goodies 300.
Jeff Green starts third. David further back in the field. You'll see the Green guys and David's championship defense beginning tonight at 8:30 on ESPN. The Goodies 300 coming your way, part of our continuing coverage of Speed Week 1995. Alan Bestwick's on a dead run back here to talk after this break. All right, take a look at your top 10. Pick your favorite. This is the starting lineup for tomorrow. Remember, since 1980, only one driver has come from further back than the top 10 on the grid to win the race. So the odds are certainly in favor of those who have qualified up front. You out of breath?
Yeah, I'm telling you what, there's a million people in that garage area.
Time for us to get serious about talking about tomorrow's race. First of all, quickly, what are the issues? What are the keys? Not the people, but the keys to winning.
I think the keys are going to be 3 things. I think tires and handling is going to be the critical factor in the 500. The second thing that we didn't get a chance to find out in the qualifying races, tires and handling over a long run. The most they ran was 25 laps on a green flag segment Thursday. We need to see what's going to happen over 50 laps tomorrow. The other's luck.
You still like Terry Labonte?
Starting 11th outside of that top 10, but I'm going to stick with it. I've made a mistake there now.
I pick Dale Earnhardt to finally win it on his 17th try. A guy this good can't be shut out forever. Take a quick look at what's still coming up here on ESPN's continuing coverage. We've got the Goodies 300, 8:30 tonight, followed immediately by Shop Talk. Eli will have Childress and Earnhardt. How about it? Sports Center's next. Mike Tirico having a ball down here all week long. And the last word on the Daytona 500 comes from Speed Week at 5:30 tomorrow afternoon. That's it from Daytona. How do we do this? We're out of time. Alan Bestwick, Dave Despain. See you next week from Rockingham.